what we need to realize, in terms of gaining followers, followers matter. Let me illustrate what I'm talking about. I want you to stand up and with the people at your table form a straight line and lock arms at the elbows. Stand up, form a straight line and lock arms at the elbows. Up. I want you to imagine that your senior management has reorganized in this form, and there are two requirements. You must keep your arms locked tight, and you must do your job. And your job is either to take 2 steps to your right or 2 steps to your left. Let's do some work. Everybody 2 steps to the right. All right, not bad. Now 2 steps to the left. Getting better. Now one more time, 2 steps to the right. All right, this is a high-performance organization. We are carrying out our prescribed job duties with effectiveness and efficiency. Now assume someone comes in and they want to lead you to take 3 steps. 3 steps to the left. But one of the realities of leadership is you don't have to follow anybody. You've got to do your duty. You've got to carry out orders. You've got to comply with the law, but you don't have to follow anybody. So for fun, all of you whose last name begins A through M, you know who you are. You're not following. You're not following. You're just taking 2 steps to the left. That's all your job requires. The rest of you are willing to take 3 steps to the left. Ready, set, go. Are we noticing some problems in the groups? All right, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. The purpose of the activity was to have some fun. It was fun for me watching you. But also to illustrate another truth of leadership. And that truth says you cannot have leaders without followers. Therefore, followers, by aligning with you, by committing to you, make you the leader. We haven't been told this. I'm guessing when you were growing up, your mom, your dad, your coach, your rabbi, your minister, they didn't say, now, son, when you grow up, I want you to be a good follower. Because we've been told, oh, no, followers are sheep. I want to be a leader. Have you ever been in a meeting where everybody's trying to lead? Where everybody's pulling the cart in the opposite direction? In Congress, they call it gridlock. Gridlock is overcome when the Republicans finally say, okay, we'll follow the Democrats, so the Democrats finally say, we'll follow the Republicans. You can't have leaders without followers. Followers are part of the process. It's a partnership. When you align with somebody, when you partner up with somebody, you make them. The big leaders have always understood this. In the movie Boycott, a brilliant story about creating a culture of focused, purpose-driven people to transform a system. The character who played Martin Luther King illustrated how King understood the importance of followers.
And we are a chain. We are linked together, indivisible. I cannot be what I ought to be unless you are what you ought to be. We are a chain.
You see, the face of civil rights in America did not change because Martin Luther King had a dream or marched across a bridge in Selma by himself. It changed because 1 million people heard his I Have a Dream speech, because thousands of people marched arm in arm in a sea of humanity across those bridges in Selma and Montgomery. This is the essence of true leadership. It's the ability to not only lead, but also to be willing to follow. Now, management is different, folks. We create in management a set of hierarchical roles. We separate superiors from subordinates. That's necessary for orderly action. Peter Drucker, the great management philosopher, said, only 3 words you have to ask to understand an organization. Who's in charge? Once I know what the chart looks like, once I know who's in charge, I understand the orderly structure of management. But that's not leadership. That's good management. So, another action idea for you. Consider the need to be what I call first follower ready, and all of you know what this is. You've been in a meeting in your careers. There's an issue on the table. You don't have an idea. Suddenly you hear an idea and you think, that's a good idea. Why don't people jump up and say, we should follow him. We should do what she says. Why don't they do that? Somebody raise your hand and shout it out. Why don't people want to be first followers? Somebody raise your hand and shout it out. They're jealous. I want to be the leader. Well, you're going to have to talk about the kind of person you are to yourself. I'll mention that at the end of my comments here this morning. Why else wouldn't people want to be first followers? There's a risk. Now, you know there's a risk being a leader, right? You step up in a meeting, you can get shot down. You also know from your own experience that if you support somebody and that causes the whole group to follow that person, that's a risk for you too. I'm here to tell you that's the game, folks. Leadership is a game of risk and uncertainty. It's a game of something within yourself has to say, I'm willing to take reasonable risks. I'm willing to do that because it supports the purpose. We need to be first follower ready.